first step of this design is to get the right eye shape, so I just printed out a picture from Google so I can get an idea of what the best eye shape was. And I did this very lightly in white before I did anything else. That way I knew what areas of my eyes to avoid. You just want to make sure that the eyes point down in the inner corner and up in the outer corner. Next, I'm going to start my background using the Kryvaline Creamy Pearly Yellow, and it's such a bright, vibrant, beautiful yellow. I love it. And apply that all to the center, fading out on your cheeks. And we want this to have a really bright and watercolor effect. So make sure you blend your colors well. Here I'm using the Kryvaline Metallic Orange, and this is from the regular line. And I'm pressing the most pressure in the middle and then applying less pressure as I go into the yellow. And as you see, I'm being very aware of the shape of my colors. I want to fade it nicely down into my cheeks and all end in the same place. I don't want to have to use a wet wipe at the end of this because that would give a sharp line, and I want a nice soft line. So be careful about your color placement. Next, I'm using the Kryvaline Metallic Pink. This one is the regular one because it's a lot brighter and I wanted to have that brightness. It is not the creamy pearly pink. And once again, I am blending that nicely into the orange. This is the Kryvaline Pearly Purple because it's brighter than the metallic purple. So this one is the creamy line. And I'm blending that softly into the pink, being aware of where I'm ending on my cheeks. And as you can see, I'm also adding it to my forehead in the appropriate shape. Next is the Pearly Bright Blue from the creamy line. And I'm going to fill in all the rest of my forehead with this and also border the purple on my cheekbones with it. This one, you're going to want to make sure to activate a lot because it's a bit sheer. And finally, to end everything off for the base, I'm going to use the Kryvaline Regular Metallic Blue because it's nice and dark, and I wanted to add some good definition in the corner of my eyes and some good contrast, and I'm putting that right into the hairline. To add an even more dynamic effect and even more watercolor feel, what I'm going to do is take contrasting colors and stencil them into darker colors. So for the darker blue, I'm going to put in the metallic yellow or the pearly yellow and the metallic orange, like so. And then I'm going to add in some purple to the pink to drag the color in that way. And what that does, it adds texture. It makes it almost look like a watercolored fabric. It's really, really beautiful, and it makes your design look much more complicated, and it gives it so much more dimension. I really like this effect of putting different colors on top of the brighter and darker colors. Now it's time to outline the eyes in black, and this is going to be the thickest line on the face because you want a lot of attention to be drawn to the eyes. I'm not going to lie, this design is extremely hard to do on yourself. I'm just going to warn you. I paint on myself all the time, as you know, and this is probably one of the most challenging things I've ever done. Fine lines and symmetry are just not easy to accomplish on your own face, but don't be discouraged if you try it on yourself and it doesn't look the best. If you do it on somebody else, I guarantee you it will look a lot better. So I'm going to apply some gems now because every Venetian mask that I saw in Italy had a beautiful centerpiece. And if you do have those gems that come already all embellished and are beautiful and intricate, please use that. I didn't have that, so I'm kind of making my own. I just applied a huge blob of glue, and now I put on a large center rhinestone, and I kind of just built off of it to make it more intricate and more interesting and a lot bigger than just one rhinestone would be. So there you go. So as a lot of you guys know, I was in Italy for the Winter Body Art Festival this February, and it was amazing, and I was lucky enough to get to visit Venice afterwards, so that's what inspired me for this design, seeing all those beautiful Venetian masks. And what all of them had in common is that they were very busy. They had a lot going on, so they were just full of different swirls and curls and very delicate lines and lots of glitter and lots of color and just lots of amazingness. So that's why I'm adding so much to this mask. The trick is you want it to look delicate, so those lines have to be thin. And as you can see, I wasn't very happy with my line right there. So don't fear, it's easy to fix. Just wipe it off. Add a little more pink and purple, and then I added the stencil so that it would look cohesive, and voila, all fixed. And I redid the line, which ended up looking exactly like the one I erased. So not really sure why I did that, but hey, whatever. And I'm going to continue to layer all of my curls and swirls. Don't be afraid to add one right on top of another. That's how these masks are. As long as your lines are thin and delicate, it'll look good. If you try to do this with thick lines, it'll look like a hot mess. Now I'm going to move to my centerpiece so that I can appropriately border it and know how to fill in the rest of my design. And I wanted to do a pretty swirling heart shape here. And then I'm going to connect those two pieces with a simple swirl, and it makes the whole thing look cohesive. On top of that heart, I'm going to put in another little mini heart. And this was one of the hardest things I have ever done in my life. As you can see here, I was struggling to get an angle where I could see and paint at the same time, and it was nearly impossible, and I kind of wanted to die. And I messed up, and I had to erase it once again. And get very frustrated and get some more orange paint and irritatingly put that on my face to fix it, and then try my hardest to get this right. And I didn't get it right, but I gave up at that point, and that's about as good as it was going to get. I finished off the top by just adding some swirls and curls in between the heart and the line work on the side, and thank the Lord, I did the other side and it looked somewhat symmetrical. It was very stressful. I think it took a couple years, maybe more, off my life, but I got it done. So let me tell you this, when painting on yourself, shading has nothing on fine lines and symmetry. Those have got to be some of the hardest things to do on yourself, but you can do it. If I could do it, you can do it. So I finished it off by just taking some gel glitter glue, or glitter gel, not glue. Oh my gosh, this is not a craft. And outlining my lines with it, because the Venetian masks all have glittery lines. That is a must. So I added that, which was also kind of hard on myself because that dang gel kept clogging up, driving me crazy. But I got it done, and I was happy with it, and I hope you guys like it too. My Facebook page, along with all of the products I used in this video, are listed down below.